A very good morning to all. I, Dr. Pushdil Khan, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Life Sciences, Mandsaur University, welcomes you all for this prestigious session entitled Startup Opportunities in Biotechnology Sector towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. Before moving to the session, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Shailendra Vyas. Dr. Vyas did his Ph.D. in plant tissue culture and molecular biology from Mohanlal Sukhadia University. He has specialization in genomics and molecular biology. His academic career provides him rich experience in plant tissue culture, molecular markers, and DNA sequencing. He has worked in IVD industry. He has acquired skills into various aspects of in vitro molecular and genomic diagnostics. He has more than 18 years of experience in academics and industry with nearly 8 years of relevant experience in IVD industry. He also worked as subject matter expert, application specialist, and consultant, QMS and business development manager. He also worked as postdoctoral fellow and scientist DBT at Department of Plant Molecular Biology, University of Delhi, South Campus. He worked in the capacity of deputy consultant application in Roche Diagnostics. He also worked as business development manager in GeneCard. At present, he is director Biohaven 360 Genotec Pvt Limited and director in Avians Biomedicals Private Limited. He is vice president of Society for Promotion of Scientific Education and Research in India. Now I would like to invite Dr. Shekhar Jain sir, head of the department, Faculty of Life Sciences, to welcome our speaker and participants. Dr. Shekhar sir, Dr. Shekhar Jain.
Thank Dr. Khan. So, first of all, on behalf of Faculty of Life Sciences, Mandsaur University, I welcome all the participants and express my deep gratitude towards the expert of today's webinar, Dr. Shailendra Vyas, for accepting our invitation to deliver a lecture on startup opportunities in biotechnology. So nothing is better than to be a boss of yourself, and everyone want to be it also. So, and government is providing such type of opportunity to be a boss of yourself and let's start up your own business. And there are so many types of funding available in terms of different government agencies like DBT, DST, CSIR, IRAC. All are providing so many opportunities to get a startup in case of biotech and life sciences. Along with this, government is also providing opportunities to do research, to get a startup in the form of incubation center. And now they have provided Atmanirbhar Bharat package to be a self-reliant nation. And I think we have one of the best speaker today to speak about it, Dr. Shailendra Vyas, who is the CEO of Biotech 360 Genotec, which is itself a startup company. And I think he will share all his experience and definitely the outcomes the expected outcomes from this webinar. I think there should be some startup from the participants. So again, I express my thanks to Dr. Vyas for accepting our invitation, and all the participants be with and gain some important guidance as well as knowledge from the expert. Thanks, Dr. Khan. Please, Dr. Vyas, please.
Okay. So सबको नमस्कार मेरा I would like to thank Dr. Jain for his nice words and Dr. Khan too for inviting me in this webinar session organized by Mandsaur University. We had been having discussions several times, but we decided that this probably at this time we can take up the opportunity to share the vision and my views on what startup opportunities are available in the biotechnology sector. And let's club it with the national mission of Atmanirbhar Bharat that was very recently announced by Honorable Prime Minister of India. So thank you, Dr. Jain, and thank you, Dr. Khan. And with this, I'll start up today's presentation. So as I've already mentioned that I'll be talking on biotechnology sector, the startup opportunities in it, and how we can be self-reliant or we can achieve self-reliance through biotechnology segment. So with this, I emphasize that I'm again and again using three terms. One is a startup opportunity, one is biotechnology sector, and third one is Atmanirbhar Bharat. So let's try to understand the three terms and then try to move forward so that we would be better able to grasp on what I'm trying to share with you. So Atmanirbhar Bharat, as we all know that this was announced at a time when India and the whole world was passing through a pandemic called as COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2 virus epidemic. Now, every time we face some challenge, an opportunity is visible to us. At the same time, when we were going through this pandemic, the Prime Minister of India announced that India must take a time to think about itself, that where are we standing today? How much we are dependent on others, how much we can give to others. Do we really have the potential? And if yes, is it really utilized properly? So with that, with that point in mind, when we were, taking a pause and giving a thought, we took these words of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And with Atmanirbhar Bharat, I would say what we mean is we talk about self-reliance. We talk about making India a global leader, a world leader. We talk about taking pride in ourselves, taking pride in the nation. So the first point in this talk is, do we really feel pride in our products? Do we really feel pride in our learnings? Can we give the world needs? So this is at the core of this whole talk. Now, when I say, can we be a global leader or do we have the potential, to me comes the next point, is that India is the second largest populated country in the world. Few months back, Prime Minister also announced that India should try to achieve 5 trillion economy, which means that we should be growing at double the pace of the existing rates, double the finance, double the economy, double the production, everything to be doubled. But when we are talking about that we have to grow at double the pace, the risks that we will be undergoing will also be doubled. The challenges that we have to face will also be doubled. But parallelly, we will create double the opportunities. So if we have to achieve a double rate of growth, everything comes doubled twice. And in this twice, we must try to find out that whatever we have been doing in the past, education is necessary, but will that education help us in making India self-reliant? Are we only providing degrees and still be the job seekers? Or can these degrees churn a new generation, a new breed that will be the job providers, thought providers to the world, innovative providers to the world? So this time we club these two opportunities, that let's strive to be a 5 trillion economy. Let's harp upon double the opportunities, take the risk, which also will be double. Let's accept this challenge. and try to make India a global leader. Now, for this, what will be needed is, as I mentioned, that so far we have been churning out mostly students who take the degree and move out and start seeking the job. But in this new arena, in this new system, we will need a complete new ecosystem, a new ecosystem that will understand the requirement, that will understand the gaps, the lacunae that need to be plugged, which will be very essential so that we can move forward. Now, in this ecosystem, several new jobs will be created, several new opportunities will be created, and these opportunities will be there for mentors, experts. There will be a new class of consultants who will be needed, who will be able to bridge the gaps, plug in the loop, the gaps. Now, when I say this, let me explain it by way of a small example. Let's suppose a 13-year-old child makes something new and he said that I have created this invention and this is my startup. I create a solution so that a major problem is solved. Can a bank give me a fund? Now the question arises that a child who is not adult, who is not having a capacity to enter into a valid contract, can he get funds? Can he really get an opportunity to implement his startup or implement his idea? So the answer is that this is a challenge that we must see. We must realize we have the potential. We got something new, but then that was not capable of taking this concept forward. So we need some consultant. We need someone who can understand the requirement, bridge in the gap between the law, the gap between the existing schemes, the gap between the requirement. So not only this, but also suppose there is a challenge and suppose you bring it with a whole altogether new idea, but there has to be someone who should be able to, particularly when I'm talking about biotechnology segment. The ideas are new, so not everybody would be able to appreciate. So we need someone. A banker will never be able to appreciate what a startup is doing. I say that I am creating this molecule. It's of no use to the banker unless he sees it getting converted into revenue. And he sees that, yes, money can be made using this concept. And this is what is business. And this is what is a real startup. So we need people who would be able to understand the technology. We will also need the same people to understand the banking and everything. So clubbing up together is actually the creation of opportunities. This will not just be limited to the people who are there, but it will be an all-inclusive model. It has to be an all-inclusive model. How can we keep 50% population, the women, our sisters? How can we keep them apart from it? They have to be a part of this. Only if they become part of this, then 100% in total will be able to make the Atmanirbhar Bharat or self-reliant India. Now, as Dr. Khan mentioned that I'm also associated with several organizations. One such is Federation of Indian Industry, and I'm heading the startup division there as vice president. And this how we are trying to do, how we are trying to utilize the opportunity. We are clubbing up with universities. We are signing MOUs with them. We have an industry. We are being an interface to. Industry requires innovations. But most of the time we see that the innovation has happened, but it remains in a university. You simply publish it and then forget it because it's not your guy. You won't be able to appreciate, or even if you appreciate, you won't be able to take up the challenges. And this is where in this clubbing up is required. This ecosystem is required. And through Federation of Indian Industry, we are creating that ecosystem so that the academia and the industry can come together. Together they innovate, together they utilize, together they help in making India self-reliant and provide solution to the world that the world needs. So this is how I'm just mentioning it because whosoever student who are listening, they can connect with me. I'll ask Dr. Khan to share my email ID with them so that If somebody has got an idea and somebody wants to do something, they can come to us. We can provide them that ecosystem which is much needed by them, and we can also we can expose them to the industrial requirement so that they can, weigh upon their idea and check whether this will be a useful startup or not. And if needed, we provide the mentoring. We be the knowledge partner with them, and this is how we move forward. So once we understand that these are the requirements, this is an ecosystem that is needed, which will be very essential for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Let's move on to my second point out of the 3 points, that is the startup. Now, India is the third largest startup hub. It's mentioned everywhere, and we see that many startups are coming up now. Children, even in colleges, they are thinking about startups. But do we really understand what a startup is? Our finance minister spoke in her budgetary speech the word startup nearly 15 times. So you can understand how much the government is thinking about it, how much support they are trying to bring in, how much funds they are trying to bring in, so that the innovators don't get shackled in the requirements of funds or the requirements of the compliances and all. They get the required support. Now, with this, we start thinking about that what really is startup. A startup is an enterprise, or it's an entity that creates something. Now, the thing is, what do you create? You can create either a product or a service. The product can be in the form of a technology, it can be in the form of a physical entity, or it can be in the form of an app, or you create a service. You have a technical know-how and you meet the requirement of the people. So you create either a product or a service. But the second question comes is this product or service really required in the society? Who will pay for your solution? These are the two major players which everybody must keep in their mind whenever they think of a startup. What I'm going to create and whether it is required. If it is required, then who is going to pay for my solution? Most of the time, we get confused between entrepreneurship and startup. Let's try to find the answer today. I'm starting a business. I'll consider this as a startup. Is it really a startup? It definitely is a part of entrepreneurship. I am trying to become an entrepreneur, but the question arises, is it a startup? The answer is no. In real terms, a startup starts with a challenge, a question that has to be answered. And when that answer is innovative, trying to bring in an economically viable solution, then it fits into the category of a startup. If already a solution is existing and I'm simply trying to do it myself, somebody has done it, I'm also trying to do it, then I am not actually a startup, I am an entrepreneur. And herein wherein you don't get the funds most of the time, because your approach is the same which others are doing. So unless you reach a stage wherein you start generating revenue, you won't get the funds, you don't get the required support. But if your solution is novel, it's innovative, then you do fit in the category of startup, and then you can get the benefits of schemes or the funds that are available. But at the same time, when I'm speaking that yes, it is a startup, it has an innovative element in it, it can answer a challenge, or it can provide a solution to a challenge in an innovative way. But ultimately, it's a business. Whether or not this solution will be able to generate revenue, either directly in the form of cash or indirectly. So this is the difference between a startup and an entrepreneur. But the common point is that, yes, it's a business after all. So you need to weigh upon what is my solution, who is going to pay for my solution, and whether somebody is really ready to pay for my solution. So unless it really answers the challenge, or it solves the puzzle, you won't be able to make a successful startup. So there are challenges. To those challenges, you come up with a solution, but to bring in that solution into a real entrepreneurial world, to become make it a startup, you need to do a lot of research. You do research, you develop a concept, you check it. It's like a so unless you are able to make a very beautiful and sound product or a solution or a service, you won't be able to be a successful startup entrepreneur. And for this, what is needed is in an ecosystem. And this is what I mentioned, that we are trying to do this through Federation of Indian Industry. So let's move on to our next part, that is the biotechnology sector or segment. So startups in biotechnology sector again is the same. It There is a challenge. You come up with an innovative solution. Yes, you are a starter, but to be a successful entrepreneur or to have a successful startup, you must weigh upon your solution. The first consideration is that, is this solution really needed, or is there a real problem? If not, then you have to go and recheck about this. If you have a solution in the form of a biotechnology, when I say biotechnology, it involves two terms, biology and technology. Most of the time we get confused with biotechnology, that it's a fermentation technology only. We are trying to provide, we have a technology of molecule creation of molecules. We are using a fermenter, so we have simply scaled the production of the molecule at a higher scale. It becomes a biotechnology. No, it's not. Today, biotechnology must be considered as a step ahead of the real solution. It should involve all aspects of the existing technologies, whether it's IT, it's artificial intelligence, it should bring in genomics, it should bring in the mechanical engineering, it should bring in all aspects of engineering, the mathematical models, the principles of physics, combined with biology. So every biological process or life process has the potential to be to fit in your technical definition of biotechnology, provided it gets clubbed up with the relevant interdisciplinary science and is able to bring out an innovative solution. So yes, if there is a need, you are able to solve a problem through application of the principles of biotechnology, and they are innovative. Yes, you are a biotech startup. If not, research again. Whole amount of whole amount of time needs to be spent upon research. You need to spend more hours of research so that you really understand thousands of problems they come across you if you're a student biotechnology every day. There are solutions, existing solutions available. It may be costly, it may not be costly. It may be innovative, it may not be innovative, but solutions are there. So first you try to bridge in. Yes, there is a challenge, there is a requirement. I can bring up a solution. And this solution is innovative. Innovative may not be just in the form of technology, but it may be in the form of, say, you are able to do it in a lesser amount of time. You have developed a solution which requires less input of money, so it becomes cost effective. I can do it in a better and different way, which is much easier to scale up. It is an innovation. So even if you are having same solution, but the solution bring in some value, that value proposition becomes a part of your startup. So I again say that yes, innovation is at the root of biotech startup. So once you have found the solution, you have and also you have seen a value in it, you will be very easy to figure out who will be my target audience, who will be paying me for this solution. And once you have made it, then there are different models. This is which is actually not within scope of this presentation. Maybe we can meet again later on, and I can discuss upon the various models of startups. Then, but you will have to fit in your idea, your solution into some model, and then you try to see it. Most of the time, biotechnology sectors, they don't grow in the way other sectors or other startups grow. They don't take a sigmoidal curve. They don't, you don't see a logarithmic growth in that, but it is rather staggered. It has to move steps by step. Even while you're implementing, the technology gets obsolete and you have to find a new solution. So it's like in steps you have to grow, and you have to be time. It has to be time. You have to be very precise with how much amount of time you are able to bring in solution. Otherwise, if you bring in a solution which becomes outdated, obsolete, then it's of no use. So biotechnology sector, you identify a challenge, you bring a solution, this solution has a value, then you identify who is going to pay for your solution, you identify which model I'm going to implement so that I become a successful entrepreneur, and this is how we can move forward. Then once this all has been done, you define your market and find out your space. Space means that suppose something is altogether new, but the industry or the challenge which is existing must be having some players already existing in the field who are working on the same challenges in a different way. So you identify the nearest category. Suppose you have created a new molecule which can generate energy. Now, energy segment may be your nearby category, and you try to find out that who are the existing players, what are their models, what are the solutions. Mine is a new molecule which can generate energy by way of fixing up the light, sunlight, or fixing up some oxygen, or bringing in a chain of electrons, which ultimately leads to the creation of energy. So the relevant category will be the energy. You know the players, know your competitor, and identify what is your value proposition. Value proposition, what value you bring into them, whether it is cost effective, it's an innovative idea, it is cheaper, it can be scaled up easily. All these are considered as the value propositions. And then also try to find out whom are you going to cater. This is one of the major challenges which people most of the time fail to understand. Is our model a B2B, a business to business solution, or a business consumer? Whether your product or service or solution, whether it caters to the requirement of an organization or an individual. So based on that also, your models will change, your approach will change, your marketing strategies will be changed. So once that is done, you find out how much is the size I can, figure out that will be the share of my startup. How much share can I get from the existing players? How much can I pull out that share using my innovative model approach? Then you will need to know your marketing strategies. Then comes, once everything is done, very well researched, then comes the production strategy, the management, the sales, and the post-sales thing, they come in place. And this is how you start moving into your commercializing strategy. Once that is done, what next you will need is, this is all paperwork that you've been doing. What will be the source of money? You need to understand right from the very beginning, how do corporates get finance? How do investment bankers think about what they look upon in an entrepreneur or a startup? And this is what is actually the base of your understanding your idea. So what will be the source of money? That will be the major requirement. It can be, firstly, the family fund or your savings. We must always begin up with our own savings and family fund. And this is what is actually appreciated by the bankers and the corporate finances also. That yes, you have invested your energies and your money. That means you yourself value your own idea. The very first day you get an idea and you move to an investor, they will say that you yourself are not investing. Why should I invest in my money? And as I've already mentioned, a business, whether it is startup or a regular entrepreneurship, it is after all a business, and a business is business. That means it should be able to generate money, generate revenue, and generate profits. So the first thing is you must put up your own money, family funds, and then you should approach banks. There are soft banks schemes. You can approach them. Thirdly, you should bank upon other schemes and grants. As Dr. Jain also mentioned, that there is a lot of schemes available from CSR, DST, DBT, and even the government Startup India schemes are there. So you can go through them, keep on finding whether there is a requirement. That most of the time, government also publishes challenges in the form of grant challenges, and through that, if you are having an innovative solution, you can think of finding some support from there. Then there are startup funds, there are venture capitals, which you can also think of. But I would suggest that you should go to them at a later stage where you have reached at a stage of traction. You have reached at some stage wherein you are able to implement your idea, implement solution, and you have some buyers for your product. Since I've said that biotechnology is a very critical subject, and ideas are not easily acceptable by the society or the bankers, you won't be able to get fund. So Government of India, the Department of Biotechnology, they have come up with an organization called as BIRAC, and they herein comes in the funding in the form of various forms, right from the ideation to the stage of scale up. There are different categories of schemes from BIRAC, and you can get wherever you fit in, you will get definite support from there. Mostly the ideas which are at a higher risk, but yes, they have a value proposition in it. They show potential. Those schemes can, those projects can be funded under BIRAC schemes. Gradually nowadays, public-private partnership models are also increasing. You being in a category of an academia, you can always partner with an existing industry. These clubbing ups, these collaborations, they do help, and there are many schemes also through which you can get some funds. So corporate finance and investment banking are must. You must be very well adapted to understand how will the money come in into my project, and how will I be able to give returns to my finances. So this is very important. If you respect the money that gets into your startup, if you honor the financiers, the investors, then definitely you will be a successful startup. Now, once everything is set in place, you've got some funds and you are there in the market, then in biotechnology segment, what I have learned is that there are gorges, there are chasms, there are abyss, which keeps on coming at different stages. So suppose you have a product, you have taken it to the market. So at the very first step, who you should target is you should target soft customers. By soft customer, I mean somebody who can easily understand the requirement and is ready to support you. Some of your friends or some of your close acquaintances who can value your idea and who can take the risk of applying your solution to his existing business or requirement. So this is the first. The second stage, when you move to the second stage, you have to scale up. For that scale up, you need funds, you need marketing strategies, so that new unknown people can come into that, and they also start subscribing to your solution. They also start subscribing to your views. And at the third stage, when you have reached the second stage, then again another abysm come therein, wherein you need more funds to scale up your idea. You need a lot of support from different organizations. You need larger compliances. And with this, if you are able to reach this at this stage, then we consider that you really are a successful startup. So in this whole process, we must understand how the money flow, how are we able to manage all the requirements, how are we able to overcome the hurdles that are going to come up. And if we are able to do that, we be a successful startup. Now let's take an example of my own company, as I am a scientist turned entrepreneur. and having experience into corporate also, I started this company 2 years back. And when I say that I started this company was founded on a core principle of application of biotechnology. It is a concept that I have implemented. It is a foundation that I have created. I don't consider this company as a startup, but I consider this company as a foundation to several startups, several ideas that I had in my mind, and which I wanted to implement. So I'll just show you a brief corporate video before I actually start doing onto describing what this concept of Biohaven 360 is all about. So I'll show you this video. So this is the concept which we started in Biohaven. Now in Biohaven, we thought of implementing biotechnology, and we, as I have defined, that we understand the requirement of biotechnology. It has to be seen as a step ahead of the basic principle, the core biotechnology understood alone. We take a step forward and club it with the different existing technologies in all various interdisciplinary sciences. Uh, this is our existing team. With me and my wife, we founded this company and later on brought on several directors on board, all specialists in their field. And we entered into a lot of collaboration. We are having collaborations with All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi University South Campus. We are having collaborations with the Translational Health Science and Technology Institute, HSTI. We are having collaboration with NIPER, several private organizations, some companies abroad. So during this short period of 2 years, we got 2 patent files, we got 5 collaborators, and with that, we started focusing on the current requirement. As I've said, that we brought in this company as a foundation, so there were so many things on mind. We brought in some innovative solution. We say built up some phytogranules using azola as a system, which was an existing technology. Nothing was new in that, but yes, there were some changes we made that made that product viable, and we made a prototype after that. But at the same time, we realized that this may not be sufficient to compete with the existing products. So we immediately changed our ideas, and we started bringing into more and more of collaboration. So as I've said, that which model can fit in your organization, it depends on what ideas you and how you want to tread forward. So we started entering into collaborations. The existing research that was lying available for the industries in organizations, we started clubbing up with them. And with that, I'll just describe one that we got patent also in the end. So with that, we started moving forward. And gradually we realized that ours is a company that is having an expertise into genomics. We are having an expertise into health, environment, agriculture, everywhere. Let's start clubbing up the two and bringing it innovative solution. And with this, the very first proof of concept that we started, which is one of our very prestigious and the largest project. And this project I'm going to discuss with all of you as an example of how a startup should think about how they should move forward, and this is how you can be successful. So this is our core project that we are currently running. The proof of concept is near in the stages of finalization, and we got government support also on that. So this is actually a tool that we wanted to create by combining tools of genomics and artificial intelligence. And we chose an area which was a new area. A new area, that means very few people have realized that this can be a real challenge to the population. Osteoporosis, everybody is working on different different aspects, but we chose osteoporosis because we considered that this would be a real challenge that the world may face in a short period of time. Osteoporosis means porous bones. Now, I'm not going to explain disease or what approach we are using, but this is what I'm trying to emphasize upon, is that how one must try to figure out that whether there is a question or whether there is a challenge, and if there is a challenge, do my solution fit into a proper solution? So we chose this disease area as one of the challenges. Why this disease area was chosen as a challenge? Because most of the time there are no symptoms. It is a silent killer. Unless this disease occur or it onsets, you will not be able to diagnose it. So prognosis is not possible unless the onset of disease has happened. So this is a challenge. So predictive risk assessment is one of the challenge in this area, is it? And that is required. And this is what our startup idea wanted to achieve. Now, there is a problem. We also know that yes, it is a very relevant problem. It leads to many morbidity factors. It can club up with comorbidities, and it affects a huge part of the problem. So, what is the socio-economic relevance of this term? So, if there is a challenge, it also should be manifested in terms of socio-economic challenges as well. So, here we see that once the disease is onset or disease has occurred, you will not be able to revert back to normal condition. It can't be cured. You only have to manage it, and the management needs a huge amount of money investment. If there is a pain and you have to only maintain your life, and that too you're not sure to what length you would be able to achieve that, and you have to live your life throughout the pain, can that be reduced? Can that be predicted so that it can be checked in time? So this disease has huge impact on our lives. Once it is onset, you have to spend money. The person becomes very agile. He is not able to mix up. He is not able to maintain his routine life. There is depression, and most of the time, after one or two fractures, death occur. The bones become weak. The moment you fall, you get a fracture, and if the fracture happens in a spine or in the hip area, then you become immobile and you're restricted to bed. You will not be able to recover, and that means you're actually heading towards morbidities. Now, it's now what's the impact of this problem? How big is this problem? We see it from the existing statistics, so the facts that are available. The Osteoporotic Foundation says that 1 out of 3 women or 1 out of 5 women, 1 out of 5 men will face this osteoporotic fracture in their life. Osteoporotic fracture, if it happens, I've already said that it is going to move towards only one direction, that is towards morbidities. And it is also estimated by 2050, nearly 50% of osteoporotic hip fractures will occur in Asia. So the problem impact is huge. So there is a challenge, there is a socio-economic relevance, and there is an impact. Now, how much is that impact visible in India? And we see that nearly 70% of the population, they remain undiagnosed till the disease onsets occur. And these are the projections which we have found out from ICMR. So the impact is not only global but also local as well. And then comes, what is your solution? So if you are able to fit in this definition, yes, we know that this disease can't be caused by one factor. There are a multitude of factors. It can be genetic factors. It can be your lifestyle related orders. It could be the challenges in your day-to-day life. So can we join up together the various parameters that the doctors use? Can we club up together the lifestyle parameters? Can we club up your genetic constitution and implement it using a new technology, that is artificial intelligence? So clubbing up all together, can a new solution or a challenge be made? So this is wherein you become innovative. Your solution becomes innovative. And as these genetic AI tools are not available in this disease area, we are creating it. And this is what is the answer to all the question that yes, there is a problem, there is a challenge. We bring in a solution. This solution is innovative. Let's see how much. Now, as I said, the disease or the challenge has a large impact. Can your solution also have a large impact? Yes, it can, because we see that every 3 seconds worldwide, an osteoporotic fracture is occurring as per the statistics available. World population is estimated to be 7.8 billion by 2020. So you can see that 70 per crore of population can be benefited after this solution. So the impact is big. So the impact of the solution also will be big. And what will be the business impact of the solution? I say business impact, that means the money that I'm going to infuse into the development of the tool, whether I will be able to generate some revenue, and the people who bring, ultimately, as I've said, it's a business. So you have to generate profits out of it also, so that you can keep on a sustainable model. You keep on sustaining your R&D activity. So yes, this has through all the market trends and the existing market strategies, we feel that yes, the business, there is a huge impact that can be generated using our tool as well. Who will be interested now? Who will pay for your product? And to whom I'm creating? Is it a solution to the customers directly? I said not directly, but indirectly. We are creating the solution for the organization. So we are answering the organizational needs. Who will be interested? The pharma companies, the major players, the diagnostic labs, or the government hospitals, the private hospitals will be benefited. So organizations would be needed into that. Now, what is the competitive landscape? That the GI, the genomics and AI, they are addressing the risk assessment in healthcare segment, and we found that we are uniquely placed in this competitive landscape because our solutions are known. There is an intellectual property that's being generated. Now, what is this? Our approach is novel, so this novelty is based upon the indigenous data that we are putting in, and that data is not just sole one type of data, but the complete multitude or multiplicity of the data is put up together so that we can make this tool a foolproof one. Then we are deriving associated genetic risks out of that. The algorithms are new, so this new IP that is being generated, the novelty that is being generated, is actually the foundation to the competitive landscape, and why people will be interested would be based upon these novel strategies and IP strategies. So once you are able to do this whole thing, you can think upon that, yes, you're moving in the right direction. But believe me, it all needs a huge amount of R&D, huge amount of time and money needs to be spent on it. You need to read it, so that you can find out the real thing that can be generated. These are some of the work plans that we are thinking about. These are the production strategies, how and what challenges we'll be facing and all. So this was one aspect of our company, and that single aspect could be considered as a startup because it can fit in the real definition of startup. But since I've said that we are a foundation company, we have plans in environment, health, agriculture, as you have seen from the video also. I would say our next aspect is that we are actually launching our biotechnology and bionext division very soon. We have identified a place in Rajasthan, that is Udaipur, my birthplace, wherein we will be launching up this aspect of biotechnology, bionext division, so that it's a different vertical wherein we have a different team working on. So we have different teams working on different verticals. Then we are also there in the environmental segment. We are applying principles of biotechnology. We are taking up the challenges of pollution, and there's another team who is working on to that. Then, as I've mentioned, that at the very beginning, we made our strategy that we will enter into collaboration and we'll try to figure out that something important that has a market need and that's already researched upon will not reinvent the wheel. So through collaborations we are approaching. So this particular vector we have created, and this vector can help many pharma industries. It can help in vaccine development, and can also be helpful in various production of various molecules. It was developed by Translation Health of Science and Technology, THSTI, Faridabad, by Dr. Das, and then we entered into collaboration, and then we developed it further so that it could be commercialized. We filed a patent for this, and it's under review right now. Now, not only this, you have to be agile. Your ideas have to be agile. The agility has to be there. So as the corona pandemic started, we immediately created strategies, and we started collaborating with others. And very soon, very soon, I was a director in another company, Avians Biomedicals. That was also a startup. We joined hands together. So collaborations are not with the academic institution, but with between the industries. Somebody has got some skill, somebody has got some skill. They come up together, they team up, and this is what really a startup is. So we started into diagnostics, therapeutics, vaccine. Very recently, one of our product got ICMR approval also. We are into the production management strategy there. So with this, I think what we must try to understand is that a real solution that the society needs can it be made through the application of biotechnology is what is at the foundation of our talk today. If we are able to bring in sustainable solution, if we are able to bring in novel solution, if we are able to fit in the requirements of the market and fit in the requirements of the investors, we can move towards from a simple job seeker to a job provider. And I'd be just mentioning that once that is done, you can turn human needs into careful solution, which is the tagline of our company also. And with that, we can achieve self-reliance in the country. We can be Atmanirbhar in all means. By Atmanirbhar, I also mean that every person should be a producer. Every household should be producing something, whether it is even a small product or a small solution. But yes, we must think about in that direction, and that is only how we will be moving towards being Atmanirbhar or making India self-reliant. So with that, I end up my talk here. I thank the organizers again, Dr. Khan, Dr. Jain, for providing this opportunity to interact with you. I can answer a few questions if there are. Dr. Khan, can you please take me to any questions if they are there?
So thank you very much, sir, for such an informative lecture.
Thank you.
Before moving to the question round, I request all participants, please type your queries in the chat box section. The feedback will be posted in the chat box during this session. So we have some queries. The first question is from Ram Prasad. He wants to know, is there any opportunity in vermicompost production and any
Um,
support
just hold on, your voice is cracking. Like I'm putting up my headphones. So now, can you please repeat? Yeah.
Okay, sir. Ram Prasad wants to know, is there any opportunity in vermicompost production and
Hmm.
any financial support available through this Atmanirbhar Bharat event?
Yeah, actually, when you are talking about vermicompost, you must see that yes, there is a huge demand. The sector that is having a demand is mainly the organic division. So nowadays, people are moving away from fertilizers and they want to eat organic material, and it's a huge industry over there. But vermicompost is a technology that is easily available, and even routine in a village. There are people who are generating vermicompost. So when the demand is huge, there are a large number of players into that. If you want to be successful in it, what you should think of is that how you can bring in an innovative aspect into it. You can club it with some new technologies. You can there are compost bins that are being generated by that. So that was a novel element. So they are giving these bins to every household, and within the household they're generating vermicompost. So yes, that is there. You can approach to the government of India for subsidies, wherein the government is providing subsidies for the growth of organics, and particularly you can approach the fertilizer industries, the chemical and fertilizer industries. There are several schemes over there, so you can approach and you can get benefit from them.
Sir, the next question is from Shraddha.
Yeah.
She wants to know that we have lots of schemes for startups, but it is not reachable always. We face lots of hurdles and most of our time is wasted. What is the solution for that?
The solution I have already given an answer, that why you mostly fail is that you have not done a lot of research. You are not able to answer the question that the world is looking at. Again, I'll say that if you have an idea, you wait again that what are the existing solutions already. Most of the time what we feel is कि I have started doing it. मैंने शुरू किया है तो मेरा startup है और मेरा idea is the world's best idea. Everybody likes it, and of course you should. But at the same time, you must understand that would it be creating a value for the investors who is bringing funds for you? Would he be benefited? That unless you are able to answer that question, you will not be able to get the benefit of the schemes. Uh, we also are trying. We also fail most of the time. We are also not able to sometimes impress upon the funding agencies or the Most of the time we don't even know the mandate of the grant or scheme. Suppose we are going for a government grant. Most of the time we fail to understand the mandate. And if you're not able to understand the mandate, if you're not able to impress upon the requirement of an investor or the interest of the investor, you won't be able to get the required support. So my answer is that do more research into it. Do keep on, doing research. Try hitting with them, and whenever you have an interaction, you will definitely find out a viable solution. And as I have mentioned, if you are facing some difficulties, though you are having a very good idea, you can come to us, you can contact me. I have put up my email address here. There's no need to share your idea. You can simply discuss with me what you want to do and where you are facing the problem. Through Federation of Indian Industry, wherein we are having an ecosystem, we will be helping you.
Sir, next question is from Mr. Kanan. He wants to know that how do we collaborate with you? We have products. We are struggling to enter into the market.
Okay.
They have products, but they are facing the market, how to enter into the market.
Yeah. I have given my email address here, and if the students are connected with you, Dr. Khan, you can share their number also with me. We can have a discussion on to that. You can. We are open for collaboration. I feel that the organization has a social responsibility as well. So very recently, a student from Delhi, he came to me and he discussed an idea, and I said that, and whatever mentorship he got, he was actually heading towards a disaster. He was looking for investment of 2 to 3 crores only in the existing technology, and thereon he was not having the real market access. So I said that you have an idea, you want to do something which is, yes, definitely useful, but do you really know that once you have your product ready, who is going to pay for that product? How many competitors are there? So even after 2 crores of investment, you have thousands of competitors, then there's no use of putting up money in that. Try to figure out something new. And since we already were working in that field, we collaborated with them. We signed a non-disclosure agreement with them, and then we said that let's move together. I'll give you an edge, a new idea how you can do. And the moment that idea was discussed, the whole vision opened up. He said that yes, what I was doing was only a segment of it. But instead of bringing this product, why don't we develop a technology that can lead to many of such sustainable products? So the whole idea changed. You can definitely collaborate with us. We are open for collaboration. You can contact me on this email.
Thank you, sir. Next question is from Shiva Rajan. He wants to know in which field of biotechnology currently we can do startup after COVID-19.
Look, all fields are open. Life is not coming to an end. COVID is one aspect. You can enter using the opportunity, just like we did. An opportunity came, we grabbed it. But the area is vast open. Agriculture segment, you need new hybrid seeds, you need hybrid products. Just like the previous question said that in vermicompost, you can think about some innovative idea, some new fertilizer you can think of. In environment, there are huge amount of challenges. Therein you can fit in the life science research. Every day you are doing, if you are not doing research, you can understand, you can discuss with the researchers that they are using many technologies which are simply imported to India. You're not even thinking of it. They are providing you molecules, they are providing you enzymes, they are providing you solutions, and you are paying for that. That is a big opportunity. Health segment, the potential is enormous. So all segments are open. You must figure out that what is my interest. If you are interested in agriculture, health, environment, or any other aspect of biotechnology, you are interested in industrial biotechnology, you are interested in breweries, you are interested in food technology, application of biotechnology is vast. You have to identify. Health, yes. Looking to corona, the health segment is expected to get more grants and more funds, because the world has realized that we need to be self-sustainable. The country India has also realized the same, and the government is bringing up the package. The Atmanirbhar Abhiyan was also a part of that package. So health segment can be one of that aspect, but it's open. It depends on your interest.
Thank you, sir. Next question is from Simran Lilwani. She wants to know that lack of funds uh, is a major hurdle for young researchers because funding agencies judge on the basis of your past experience. What is the solution to that?
No, there's nothing to that. No base to that thought that she is having in her mind. I would like her to change her mind, that the funding agency don't see your experience. What they see is that, are you able to think about what those funding agencies want? Are you fitting in their mandate? If suppose you have a requirement of money and I give you money from my pocket, or see it the other way around, you make investment, your parents make investment. Are you putting up your investment into any of the policy or any of the scheme? Do you invest in any mutual fund? Do you put up your money into any bank? No. You weigh the investment or your money investment based on several criteria. So they also look out to these criteria. And if they are not putting in money in you, it means that what you need to do is develop some understanding. Make a team with other people. You may not be having expertise in all. You bring in more people. You team up with them, and then try to approach them again. They may, most of the time they see that the idea that is there, uh, uh, will it go in waste, or will it come back? Forget about the profits. Well, my basic money which I'm investing will also be coming back or not. So you need to do a lot of research. That's why I've said the very first or second slide, it was there. Research is at the base of any successful startup. Think about how, who are the players, how am I different from them, whether somebody really require my solution or product or not. Ideas are many, but the thing is, there has to be someone to pay for that idea.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Next question is from Sriya Bose. She wants to know where can we conduct experiments if we are not associated with any research institute or lab?
Okay. Um, this is a very valid question. If you're not associated with any research organization or research lab, you can approach to the existing facilities in your adjoining area. Suppose you are in a remote area, and then the nearby university or research institution, you can go there. They will help you, provided they are also having a mandate in that subject. Otherwise, the best option is the bio incubators. Government of India DBT is having many bio incubators. There are many private bio incubators also there. They just charge a basic money from you, and they provide you that opportunity, that they provide you all the facilities to that. Our company is being incubated in BSc Bionas Bio Incubator in Faridabad. It is a DBT bio incubator. So we are getting access to all high-ended instruments at a very nominal cost. So you can approach to the BSc Bionas facility. There are many bioincubators in the country. So depending upon your proximity, you can discuss with them. And if you are not able to find out, you can write to me. I'll help you figure out which can be the best bioincubator.
Okay, sir. The last question is from Karthikeyan. Mr. Karthikeyan wants to know what was the big obstacle you faced in your startup or company during the initial stages?
Okay.
What you
The,
faced during this startup you
the
established?
same thing which everybody is saying, to impress upon someone to believe in your idea. And this was, I think, the biggest challenge. We kept on heading to many people. We discussed the ideas, and with that, we used to get more insights, more inputs, and we used to come back and do more research, try to figure out what should we do now,
yes, what the concerns that they have raised are genuine, and we must try to figure out. And after a period of, say, for every single project, it took us several rounds of discussion with mentors, experts, people. As I've said, that you should also have an understanding of the business, how business grows, what are the business models that people look at, uh, how you are going to, satisfy their interest, how they are, how you're going to, bring in a proper solution which can fit into the society. How can you make it sustainable? So the biggest challenge was to make others believe in what you believed was a solution. And with every round, we used to come with more energy. We used to get more inputs, which we used to research and go back. And suppose I have met 10 people. If I'm meeting the 11th person, I am having the know-how from 10 people. And we would, the queries that would come from the 11th person would be very less. So this was one aspect. And based on that, approaching for funds was also a problem, second problem. Uh, Building up team, finding the right people who have the same passion and energy was the third challenge we faced. Um, you believe in your idea, it's your baby, so अपना बच्चा सबको अच्छा लगता है. So it was like कि मेरा तो idea है और देखिए इतना बढ़िया है ये. People said, who cares for it, there are so many other players, इससे तो कुछ मिलना नहीं है. But somebody who can believe in your idea, and we can work with the same energy and flavor. So building up team was the third one. So there were several challenges. These were a few.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Dear participant, if you have more queries, you can directly contact to Dr. Vyas. I will provide his email address to you. Now it's time to thank our key speaker, Dr. Shailendra Vyas, and attentive participants for making this webinar successful. I would like to thank Dr. Shekhar Jain, head of the department, for giving me opportunity to be a part of this fascinating webinar. And I also like to thank all the staff members of the department. I request all the participants to fill the feedback form, which for getting e-certificate, feedback form link is provided in the chat box. Thank you again, sir. Thank you, Shekhar sir. Thank you, Shailendra sir.
Thank you, Dr. Khan. Thank you, Dr. Jan. And I can announce it on this portal to all, anyone who is having an idea and is finding some problem. If even if that is not a mandate of company, we can support you there. And if it is a mandate of our company, we can collaborate with you. So my email ID is there. You can come up and you can approach me anytime. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Vyas.
Thank you, sir.